You know, it's amazing the things that people think God is looking for. They think God is looking for talent, or they think God is looking for intelligence. But you know, really, talent and intelligence, those are things that impress people. Those are not things that impress God. For instance, music. What music on planet Earth compares to the music of heaven? The very best music on earth, the most talented musical person on the face of the earth, is nothing in comparison just to the everyday common music of a heaven. There is no music on earth good enough to impress God. Or how about intelligence? God knows everything, created everything, He is all-knowing. What smart person is going to impress God with his brains? Talent and intelligence is what impresses people. That is not what impresses God. You know, sometimes people say to me, "Oh, Rick, you're so smart." And I often think to myself, you know, it really doesn't matter. I know a lot of really smart, stupid people. Smart is not what is important. God is looking for more than brains. God is looking for more than smart, though I appreciate the compliment. God is looking for heart. He's looking for people who have a heart to serve Him. God is most impressed by the heart. And when Paul wrote to the Corinthians, he said this, 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 26, "For you see, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called." But today I want you to particularly see that he says, not many wise men. And the word wise is the word sophos, and the word sophos can be translated as the word wisdom, but it describes somebody that is really bright, someone that is extremely intelligent. And I'm going to read you directly from Sparkling Gems. It describes special enlightenment or special insight. It was the superintelligentsia of the world. These are people whom the world would call clever, astute, smart, intellectually brilliant. And this term was reserved only for those considered to be the super impressive or a cut above the rest of society. So when Paul says, "For you see your calling, brethren, that not many are wise after the flesh," he's telling us that most of the folks that God calls don't fit into this category. Most of them don't. The superintelligency, in other words, God doesn't specialize in calling people who are especially bright, educated, astute, smart, or eminently enlightened. Now, if you look at the Bible and see who God calls, He calls a shepherd boy. Naturally speaking, a shepherd boy by the name of David was not bright enough to become a king, but he had the right heart. In fact, God said that He chose him because of his heart. And you can look over and over and over in the Bible. God does not go to the schools of theology. He doesn't go to the university to look for who He's going to use. And when Jesus selected the people that He called into the ministry, who did He choose? He chose tax collectors. He chose fishermen, people who had come from a very common lifestyle. And according to society's opinion, they were not the super duper intelligentsia of the day, but they had the right heart. And heart is what God is looking for. Whoever said God's looking for brains? God's looking for heart. And if you have a heart that is repentant, a heart that is willing to change, and a heart that is willing to do what God requires, then you're precisely the person that God is looking for today. So when you look in the mirror, if the devil is ever tempting you, saying to you, "Oh, you're just not as good as somebody else," just stop him right there and say, "Yes, and in fact, that's exactly what qualifies me." God's looking for somebody just like me, because when He chooses somebody like me, it guarantees He's going to get all the glory.